Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Voices RandomISH. As always, I'm Eldridge, and to my left are my sisters,
D'Artagnan,
Bess, and Allison.
And we want to thank you for tuning in this evening. We have a topic that we're sure that you're going to want to engage in so that you'll be enlightened, inspired, and uplifted. That is the purpose of the show. Today's topic centers around the responsibility of media to have the wherewithal to be culturally aware of the topics in which they're going to be talking about before they engage in a dialogue. After all, since media is a source of which many of us rely on as the truth, we expect that they will be truthful in how they portray information, but more so do the research and know what it is that they're talking about. So today we're going to defer to our very own Bess Lou, who's going to share an experience that she had where media was not culturally aware and or made some assumptions about information without doing research first, and then the impact, and then how we go forward from there. So Bess, take it away.
Yes, so on November 22nd, I was in my car on my way to work, and my phone was dead, so I decided to listen to radio. I have nothing else. And so as I turned on the radio station, I hear the host of this radio show, and they were talking about how they play other genres of music because someone had made the comment that they rarely play music. So they said, we play music and we also play other genres of music, and started naming off artists that are in the hip hop and R&B genres of music. So as they said, the names like Post Malone or Lil Nas X or Future, it's like the way that they were saying the names was as if they were like dumb, like Lil Nas X and Post Malone, as if they just didn't understand it. Because you know, most rap artists don't go by their legal name.
Right.
So then they also said, one of the hosts said, oh yeah, we and also that dude with the song about the horse. And they're like, who, Lil Nas X? He was like, oh yeah, well, he died after his song with Billy Ray Cyrus. And the other host started laughing and said, well, not dead, but he might as well be. And so they went on to, laugh about the song and about the name. And so someone was like, one of the hosts said, well, he just put out a song called Panini. And everybody started laughing, like, Panini, what is it about, a sandwich? Like, what is it about? So they started to play the song. And as they played the song, they stopped it, gave their feedback, laughed about the lyrics, played it again, and just repeated that numerous of times, continuing to belittle the song. So I listened to Panini. I love the song, but I never really knew what the song was about.
Okay.
So after hearing that and being so upset about the fact that how are you talking about something that you don't know about, and then you have this public platform where you can talk about this stuff and people listen.
Right, you influence people's ideas about stuff.
And we live in Appleton, Wisconsin, where there is not a large cultural representation here.
Right.
So people who are not familiar with other cultures will probably believe this stuff to be true that they're talking about.
Right.
So I went, after listening to that, I went and tried to research and see like what was the meaning of Panini, because obviously they concluded that it meant he was having sex with a sandwich inside of Panera.
What? That's
from the lyrics.
That's
from the lyrics.
Ludicrous.
From the lyrics, having sex with a sandwich inside of Panera.
Damn.
So I looked it up. As soon as I looked up Panini, Lil Nas X, there is articles, videos that come up, him explaining why he wrote the song. And in the interview that, as I said in my letter, can be found on YouTube and other major platforms like Google or Yahoo, that took all of 2 minutes to research. He says that the character Panini is from a TV show called Chowder, which is on Cartoon Network, 2007 to 2010.
Okay.
Panini is an antagonist in the show. She doesn't start out that way, but she likes the title of Chowder. And she wants to be with Chowder, and he doesn't share the same feelings for her. So as the show goes on, and other people start to take a liking to Chowder, she starts to not like Chowder anymore, and then starts bullying him and making fun of him, and that's when she becomes the antagonist of the story.
Okay.
So he relates that to his fans of when he came out as gay, that nobody really wanted to mess with his music anymore. And when he became famous, nobody really wanted to support him how they said they were going to support him. And in his lyrics, he say, I thought you wanted this for my life. You said you wanted to see me thrive, but you lied.
Okay.
He says that in his lyrics, and he's talking about his fans who acted as if they supported him. They continue to laugh about that. And from me just doing that 2 minutes of research, I found out what the meaning of the song actually was.
Yeah. Now, the station, what is the primary genre of music that they play?
I believe it's
is it more pop?
Top 40.
Top 40. Okay, top 40.
Yeah,
okay.
A mixture. But they, now that I recognize the radio station, now I see really all they play is Lil Nas X and all these other artists in that genre of music. That's really all you play because that's what people want to hear.
Right.
But don't you think it would be wise for you to do a little bit more research or become knowledgeable about this genre of music that you play on your radio station?
Yeah, like I was saying in the opening statement, is I believe that because we all know that media is designed, and I don't care what format it's in, whether it's radio, whether it's even, especially now that we have the wide advent of social media where you can take a clip and it becomes a soundbite and you can play it over and over and over, and immediately people gauge it as a way of life. So you're absolutely right, and I applaud you for taking time to do the research that you truly are a journalist, because a person that's going to be a responsible journalist is going to go back and look and see what the foundation of something is before they make a statement. So one of the things about what I studied was rhetorical theory, is how you use media to drive certain philosophies. And you have to wonder, and I think, even though people might think I'm nuts out there, but on a subversive level, what type of messaging are you really trying to drive to the masses that actually listen to these shows? And someone like myself, who now is going to be impacted by the statements and the meaning that you said. And the other piece is that we already know that in hip hop, especially with men of color, there is a real big stigma and backlash from a man who is gay or who leads an alternative lifestyle. So the fact that Lil Nas even had the courage to find a text where he could be free enough, knowing the risk, to have somebody want to understand why he did what he did and where he was coming from. Because didn't he say he was going to retire because the pressure was too much? So you have to understand, when we talk about these other things, and it may not seem like it's connected, but if you think about the stigmas and the things attached to the male anyway, a male of color especially, now you got to come out, I'm a male of color, I have all these images, I'm a hip hop person that has all these images, and now I have to worry about my sexuality and my sexual identity and people's perception of who I am. Yeah. That's a lot to be taken out of the house, and you can see. Now I can really understand when they were going back talking about criticizing him for saying, oh, he has only made one really good song and he's ready to retire. It can't be that hard. Yes, it is. I said all that. That's some stuff that people don't get.
More money, more problems.
Oh my God, no lie. Biggie said it best, didn't he?
So after that, I said, somebody needs to know about this, or at least acknowledge the fact that that's not okay. So I did send a letter. I wrote a letter to the general manager of that radio station and just explain, I do understand people have freedom of speech, right, but I feel like as public radio hosts, with a public platform, you have to hold yourself at a higher standard.
Yes.
You have a freedom of speech, but it ain't really free, because you're not free to say what you want to say.
Right.
So I did write the letter to the general manager, explain all of this stuff, and I said I understand that there is a lack of cultural representation here. I acknowledge that, I understand that, but that does not excuse ignorant behavior.
Right.
That does not excuse the lack of courtesy for something that you don't understand.
Right. And to pass judgment and then to paint a picture that is not anywhere near what the meaning of something is. Because again, I go back to some research that I had done. I probably was a junior in college, and it was really literally these images that are portrayed in these various texts. And at that time, it was about what are the images and the messages that shows like different strokes. are portraying to us, and you may not think it has a connection. It's just the thing with intertextuality is everything that's old becomes new when you put it inside of a different medium, and now you figure if we were sending the same type of images that we had back then of how Arnold characterized and portrayed himself, we could make some hasty generalizations about how we are and how our little kids act as people. You know, I don't think any of us walk around what you're talking about, Willis. So for them to make the generalization, what they did is they took all this one piece of information or their ignorance, and they heaped a bunch of hasty generalizations on this young man, and people are gonna make decisions about who he is when they interact with him outside of his music.
And I get that. I mean, I guess the purpose of this radio show is like comedy, because since then I've, heard of a few things that they've done on the radio show, and they mostly like do like comedy skits and sketches or whatever. So it's fine. You want to make that a parody, that's fine. But at least then tell the real and give what the song actually means, so that it's backed up by facts and not you just spreading negativity.
Because there's so much stuff on the surface. Even with like, if you was gonna make fun of him crying over a relationship, whatever, if you saw the subversion, or you saw below the layer of the text, because what I heard was that there was a relationship there, that he was thinking people were gonna have one mindset, there was trust that was broken. It was all these things that were there that they failed to see. And for me, if you're a really, really good journalist or a person that's familiar with how media images, rhetorically how they produce meaning, which is what these people are supposed to know to be on the air. And like you said, a 2-year-old could Google it. I mean, I know little kids that Google all kind of stuff. So what's your frequency on this, Darwin's, just coming that way?
Well, me, I would not have done the research. So I can honestly say that. So I can get where they're coming from, because it's a song. We hear a lot of songs out there that don't have any meaning. And you listen to them, I don't even understand what they're saying in half of them. So I would not have dug into it. Yeah. Because for me, it's like, okay, I don't like it. I would not have tried to dissect the song to figure out what he was talking about. I wouldn't have went and Googled or looked on YouTube to try to figure it out either. I would have just been like, okay, that they don't like it. I moved on. But what I don't like in that, the whole statement and what she was saying, is for them to say that he may as well be dead. That part of what was said, like, where is your compassion? Like, what as a human being? Right. As a human, why would you wish death upon anybody, whether his career is there or whether he physically himself is there, to say that and to put that out there like that. That part of it, yeah, there needs to be some serious backlash about that. But to dissect the song, so your opinion about it, it's your opinion. Right. It's your personal opinion about how you feel about the song, or what you got out of this song. So I get it. I would not have done research. So I applaud you for taking the time to go and do the research to figure out that there is a different meaning behind the song, and to let them know that you need to watch what you're saying. Yeah. And even on his Instagram, people have made that reference, like Panini and Sandwich. He's even joked about it, like after he's noticed that people were making that assumption. Right. He's even joked about it himself. My only thing was the content around in which it happened. Right. That I was like,
the context in which he gave that message.
Yes.
So, like you said, it's a comedy-based show, but there's nothing comedic about just tearing somebody apart and blatantly making fun of them. It's comedic if the person could laugh along with it, that they would be like, yeah, that's kind of true about me. It's not comedic to just make fun of somebody, tear apart their career or their art for that matter. There's nothing comedic about that. So I get laughing, or even parodies, you know what I mean? Like, even if you're doing a parody of a song, like, I love Weird Al, like, parodies are great. But that's not what was happening. That was just blatantly tearing apart another human being and their craft, their art, and who they are. And there's nothing funny about it.
I feel like they also insinuate, because then you have to go to the backstory. Back when Lil Nas X first came out, he was not eligible for the country billboards because they said his song wasn't country enough.
Right, I read all of that.
What was it? Old Town Road. It wasn't country enough.
Mhm.
Billy Ray Cyrus then got on the song, and then it qualified it as being country enough.
Okay.
So that, on top of them making the assumption like, well, he died after his song Billy Ray Cyrus, is that Billy Ray Cyrus made him relevant.
Right.
And that's the only reason you know him, because of Billy Ray Cyrus.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're a radio host and you play top 40 and you play music that people want to hear,
Mhm.
how would you not have known him without Billy Ray Cyrus?
Exactly.
If you're
Because
playing
he's in the top 40.
Right.
Right.
So to say, well, he after the song with Billy Ray Cyrus, oh, you recognize him, but you don't recognize him.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
So since you wanna do that, this young man is responsible for the number one. He had the longest number one song in history.
Yeah. He won all kinds of awards.
Yes.
too.
The
I thought he
longest
won, like,
number was
5 or
nominated
6.
for the most Grammys. So
Well,
when
trying
you
to
talk,
give it,
but then you try to
trying to give the
But I mean,
So-
even
so
them
Billy
saying, because did Billy Ray not only be a one-hit wonder, but did Billy Ray
My
not have
breaking
one
heart.
hit? And
Exactly.
so how you gonna give a one-hit wonder the credit for
right.
somebody
They gave him
else's
the
work?
credit is what I was trying
And
to
he
get.
revived his
Credit
career.
to him.
The
yeah.
only reason besides Achy Breaky Heart, the only reason that he is still quite frankly relevant is because
Say it
his
with me.
daughter is Miley Cyrus.
But I also like Billy Ray. He is fine.
Girl.
I'm not saying anything's wrong with
Ain't
him.
nothing wrong with that. But
I'm
we
not
call it
knocking
for the
him.
real.
I'm not knocking him or his career or his song.
Right.
But that is the fact of the matter. Is that
It's the same
yes,
thing.
he
It's
is
the
still
same
in that
thing.
business.
Right.
Yes, but
You're right.
he had one known great hit,
You're right.
and that's what everybody knew him from. And now it's grown along the way.
Yep.
But how it's not like you came along and said, you had some person that has had hit after hit after hit after hit and put it on there and credited them. Okay, I could see that
And
happening.
maybe Lil Nas X made Billy Ray Cyrus relevant again.
He did.
Okay.
He did.
Just saying.
He did.
But look, let me share something with you guys. I don't know if you remember the Michael Che incident. You talk about parody and comedy. Michael Che, when he made the comedy of referred to Caitlyn Jenner, remember, as not one of the guys or whatever. And they gave him hell. They wanted him to apologize. They said it wasn't comedy. You know, Caitlyn Jenner was, you know who that is, right? So if Michael Che can't make a comment in parody on SNL, why should it be okay just because they're on the radio?
Right.
I'm saying it's the same damn thing. You may be in a different medium, but you're not fooling nobody. It's like you said, you have to give the credit where it's supposed to be due. So the fact that you have Michael Che needing to own what he did or the faux pas that he did, they held on the same standard because they're in the same damn business of providing information. And Saturday Night Live is one of those periods that do make you think outside the box and inside the box, because you glean your own information and ideas. The other piece that I just want to say real quick is that when people formulate meaning about something, it gives you a glimpse into their own perversion of their own mind. So the fact that he came back and said that he thought that it meant that he was making love or having a sex with a sandwich, I'm scared of who this person might be.
Inside of Panera.
Hello.
Right.
And so is that your fantasy? Was that the frequency you was on at that point? Because that's what you came up with. And I can go back into I can pull all kind of theory books out there that weren't written by me that will tell you that a person's ideologies and how they feel about something is espoused in the meaning or how they portray out meaning about something.
Yeah.
So that's what he came up with.
Exactly.
Oh,
And
I'm scared.
like I said, I understand that there is not a lot of diversity out here.
Right.
There's not a lot. So some people may not know.
Yeah, but we got perversity around, obviously.
So
Exactly.
So when I wrote the letter, I wasn't expecting no overwhelming apology, roses being sent to my job. I wasn't expecting anything.
But
All
what
I was
happened?
asking for is change behavior.
Okay, so what happened so far?
So the general manager, she wrote me an email. This was during Thanksgiving break. She said, I'm on vacation, but I wanted to acknowledge the fact that I got your letter. Thank you for sending me a letter of concern. When I get back, she asked me what times was I available. the following week, which was last week. She said, when I get back, I will make sure to contact you and speak to you about your concerns regarding what was said on the radio station. I said, you know, thank you. It's holiday break and you still took the time to make. I appreciate that. I said, thank you. This is the day and the time that I'm available. She said, perfect. I'm going to contact you then.
Okay.
That time came and that time went, and I did not hear from her.
Okay.
So as we were all out this past Friday, 2 days ago, and you asked, did I get in contact? I said no, I hadn't heard from her. Friday, as soon as I got home, she sent me a message like, "Oh, I apologize, Bess. The week got away from me." Even though I signed my letter and my email with Bessie McGee, which is my real name, she referred to me as Bess, which is on my actual email name, but I signed it something else. And she didn't spell it right.
Okay. That says something there.
She don't care.
Right, because first of all, she minimized who you were as opposed to you could be Ms. McGee. I don't know you. How you gonna shorten my name and call me what a nickname is and you don't even know what the definitive nickname is? That would be like someone just saying, "Hey Dar, hey Allie, hey Elle, hey Bess." You don't know me like that. You get the privilege of that after we have some type of relationship and a rapport, and we've neither at this point.
Exactly.
So to me, I also feel like a social violation occurred, and to me that disturbs me even more. Y'all don't even know who y'all talking here right now, okay? I'm seeing all kind of violations all over the place because I wouldn't have the audacity to start to refer to you, but regardless, I don't know who you are. There's certain professional protocol that didn't happen here. And this person is a general manager.
The general manager.
Oh, I want the role ain't matched to me to the skill. I'm
it's
sorry.
Really not. And then I feel like if this was something that was of importance, it's regarding because I ended the letter by saying, if I hope that this message has served as an enlightenment to you and your work community. If you are looking for ways to further the intercultural competence and be more involved in that and understanding and use this as an opportunity for growth in that area, please contact me. Right. So, you did, but you didn't.
Right.
You made it seem as if, oh, it's priority. You know, I'm on vacation, but I'm taking the time to, and then you don't even, oh, the week got away from me. Oh, that's cool. But you know what? What I would have did was if I was in the general manager position, as soon as I got into the office, I would have at least called you to say, hey, you know, I got your letter. I'm just following up on that because I don't want no further action. I don't know if she maybe thought that, oh, she just gonna leave it alone. She just gonna leave it alone. But no, so what I did was after that, I printed out 20 good copies of that letter and I will send it to everybody and their mama with a public platform. Okay. Because I want this to have an even bigger voice of it's not okay to be ignorant. Would you be willing to upload a copy of the letter onto our site so that people can actually access it? So we'll be able to show people the serious nature and the seriousness of which this show is about, engaging you in dialogue and enlightening. You certainly are enlightening people. And hopefully they'll be inspired to go out and uplift others by sharing the impact of not being culturally aware of what you say and how you say it, especially when you have a public platform. Then we have a responsibility. Even on this show, I'm very aware, even though we have a little bit more latitude here, but I'm always conscious. Because when we talked about true, kind, necessary, what are we saying today? What happened was true. It was not necessarily kind, the manner in which it happened, but it's necessary for us to share then with the world of the devaluation of the complaint. Because that's what she did, is when she shortened your name, she don't realize that that's a behavior that sends the message of devaluation to a person. Specifically, when you go to my first name only and not my last name, you remove the salutation and then you shorten my name, you have devalued the whole situation and minimized it all the way down.
It is. It's a matter of respect in that regard. When this is a consumer, you're a general manager, by all means, she should have referred to her as Miss McGee, not even Bessie, let alone a nickname. It's kind of, it's like there's just a certain way that you don't refer to people. And I refer to her as her first and her last name. Kind of like when you call an older woman Sharpie.
Oh, yeah.
We gon'
We'll move on.
Into the tea kettle.
was another whole
Take that to the
situation.
tea
That
kettle.
was all good. Were there any final thoughts, Bess, that you wanted to share with everyone out there about how they can become more culturally aware? What tips would you give to people?
Be mindful for what you say because you don't know who's listening and how your words will affect other people.
I really just want to applaud you because you modeled the behavior that people should take. Before you start talking, if you don't know something, Bess, you actually modeled what I'm so proud of you for doing is going and do the research. What would you like to say, Al?
For me, to be cultural, I can't say.
Decide what's in your gut.
To be aware, if you don't know, ask. Don't assume things about other people, other cultures, other things. Ask. Just don't ask in a rude way. But any day of the week, if you want to know somebody, people would rather have you ask and say, like, I'm sorry if this is a dumb question, but I was just curious. Most people are going to respond to you, okay, you're simply, you want to learn versus making fun of something or being dumb about it because you don't understand somebody else's cultures or traditions or things they do. Simply just ask if you want to know, and if you don't really care to know, then sorry, but just shut the fuck up about it.
What she said.
Right, I second that.
Are you seconding that? And on that note, I think we can say, tune into Voices RandomISH. Google us. Like us on Facebook. Like us on Instagram. But more than ever, come back here, subscribe to this channel, share, make a comment because we want to know
What's your frequency?